Greetings everyone, I'm Kenneth Macharaga from Zimbabwe, and I hope I find you well this Easter Sunday, the Sunday of the resurrection. The resurrection is always the story of the unexpected. On the first day of the week, just as dawn was breaking, we are told Mary Magdalene rushes to the tomb where Jesus was buried. And there she discovered that the body of Jesus is missing. The linen had been folded. And so she rushes to the disciples, Peter and John, and they are amazed when they discover the empty tomb. You see, for the disciples, it took them a long time to understand the significance of the scriptures talking about the resurrection. And so we will discover that from this time onwards, slowly, with time, they would begin to recognize and understand the power of the resurrection in their everyday life. Called to live the life of the risen Christ and called to be witnesses to the world about this Jesus who is alive and who is within us. In a similar fashion, we are filled with hope as we celebrate and proclaim that Jesus Christ is risen, that Jesus Christ is Emmanuel, God with us. The resurrection is hard to grasp. It is hard to understand, but it lies at the very center of our Christian faith. Christ's victory over death at Easter breaks all the chains of sin that we had created for ourselves. I would like us to look briefly at the very passage in the Gospel of John where he says, early in the morning, the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary rushes to the tomb. Early in the morning, whilst it was still dark. 2 days ago, on Good Friday, Jesus was buried at sunset, as darkness was once again creeping over the earth. To all appearances, he was a victim, and his death and mission was a failure. But on the third day, Easter Sunday, he rises again. The sun comes up and breaks, and darkness was overcome. For me, this paints a beautiful picture, a beautiful portrait of what God is doing in our lives. In the darkness of our lives, when we see ourselves bound by sin and shame and hopelessness, God is at work whilst the world sleeps. When we are not aware of it, God is working in a way that no one can understand to bring light into our lives. And this is what we celebrate this Easter, the God who comes at the darkest moment. And as they say, the darkest moment is just before dawn. This is what we see today, God working. Our celebration of Easter reminds us that the darkness of evil and hatred that we come across in life does not have the last say. It is only the hope of the resurrection that gives us reason to wake up in the morning, reason to go about our duties, and reason to live and walk with our heads held high, because Christ is risen. Christ is with us, and he wishes us to share in this life, this new life that he wants for everyone. Blessed Easter, everybody, and God bless you.